Greetings, GameCola faithful, and welcome back to more Dragon Warrior 2. I'm James.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Nathaniel.
And I'm Mark.
And I'm...
Hey, you're still here!
Yeah.
What? I am? Huh? What? Whoa!
Quick, drop him. Quick, turn the boat around. We'll drop him off at Osterfair.
No, you can just throw me overboard.
Okay.
We'll be faster.
Sploosh. All right, everyone. That was Mark.
So-
Say thanks, Mark. Say thanks.
Thanks, Mark.
All right.
So we were doing things last time.
We were.
Was there a grinding break between last video and this one?
There was. It was a 2-hour grinding break, during which we earned enough gold to purchase the Shield of Strength for Illith. GameCola,
Even though she can't equip it, she can use it as an item.
correct, which is why we got it. It's basically free healing for her. I think it's basically a free heal more, but only on herself. So that should hopefully let us conserve MP. GameCola and Orfeo each gained 1 level. Orfeo learned a new spell, Defeat, which, I mean,
That all along.
yeah. Yep, I was gonna say he tends to be pretty good at that enough as is.
Is that the one where you defeat all enemies or you admit defeat?
I think, well, he's pretty good at the latter. I think in
All
the
right,
edited
cool.
episodes, we're currently up to about 8 deaths for both Orfeo and Illith each.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say that, going back to my eternal joke, I believe defeat works really well against leggy ants.
Leggy ants. The other thing, when I was fighting a Hawkman, it dropped a gremlin's tail,
What?
and I don't know what
What?
that is.
What?
Eat it.
Clearly,
Eat it.
the hawk was
So this was
the hawk was
Fantasy.
trying to feed that to its family.
I'm just curious.
Final
I'm gonna
Fantasy.
try. I wonder if it's a cursed
Yeah.
item.
what? What?
On the tail.
Huh.
What?
Where's the nearest Dragon Warrior con?
Well, I put it on.
All cosplayed up.
Yeah, it's equipped.
Huh.
You can't take it off.
I guess.
Yeah, I was
guess
gonna say
not.
that. I wonder
So-
if it is a cursed item.
Oh, no, that's something different. There is, according to this walkthrough that I'm looking through, a gremlin's armor. What was there a stat change? I was looking away.
I don't know if there was a stat change. I didn't look at my stats ahead of time.
All right, well, try and equip your other thing to go back and see what happens.
All right, here. What I'll do, I will cast a spell. No, I will transfer it. I'll trade it to Orfeo. Oh, it is cursed.
Ah.
Yeah. Hold on.
Hooray!
Well, you know what? There isn't a... I don't think there's a house of healing in this town.
Yeah, sorry. In on Mike's RPG Center, it just says "cursed. Do not use."
Do not use. All right. Well,
Like,
you know
do
what?
not
We're at the start of the
use.
episode. I can just reset.
Reset the whole episode, throw this all out,
Yep.
pretend it never happened.
VCR rewind
Throw the
sound.
tail overboard.
With the equipped person attached to it.
Yep.
Yup.
GameCola is overboard. No. Adventure over.
We've determined he can swim real good.
Have we?
You don't remember the one little random blip of ocean where we needed to go search for treasure?
Oh yeah, that's right. GameCola did. He dove overboard and
yeah.
explored the wreckage of the pirate ship. That's right. Oh
So, we're
great! Back to the tradition
going.
of being attacked immediately upon leaving town.
So where are we going?
The first thing we need to do is we need to go to the World Tree and get another Yggdrasil leaf because we used
that's
that
right.
in the
Okay,
last
so-
episode.
So, west a bunch. from here.
Okay.
West a bunch.
West a bunch.
I know
At
this
some
isn't
point you'll go
part of,
south.
Yeah. At some
this
point.
isn't
I'll
a part
go.
of our game anymore, but I do like the order of operations. Oh, what does this tail do? Stick your head in it and it's just attached to your tailbone. Oh, the adventure map says it's cursed. Huh.
It's an experiment, you know. We
We learn by doing.
Well, it's a devil's tail. The tail is forked, so we forked around and found out.
So, also, the thing I was looking at, which called it an armor rather than a tail, and maybe that's a translation thing, maybe it's a different item altogether,
Oh.
had a... Yeah, that's
Sorry,
okay, you can keep
continue
going
going south, yeah.
southwest from here. The detail was that the armor stat was actually very good. So I can't remember if curse is like the cursed belt that drains your health in the first game, or if it's just, haha, this has locked an equipment slot, you're stuck with it, but you also get higher defense, so that's okay.
You're going
Look,
to
southwest
be,
from here, we overshot a little bit.
Right, yeah, east. So yeah, southeast. Follow along the coast and you'll see it.
Okay. So, this is kind of very off topic from anything I think we've discussed thus far, but I've been listening to some older episodes of the GameCola podcast, specifically like, you know, the late 80s and early 90s of the podcast. And I had a question
been
for
around for
you,
that long.
Nathaniel. I can't carry anything more.
How is there nothing
Oh,
that
you know
can
what?
chuck?
I can
Why
throw
not
something
throw away a
away.
tail?
I'll throw away the gremlin's tail. I guess
That's
I can
great
throw...
fertilizer for the world tree.
You know, maybe I should see if I could sell it. Though.
Hopefully it doesn't curse the world
Is there
tree.
anything?
Well, how much more money
feel
do you
like-
really need now? What is there left to buy?
The sword, the
Oh,
falcon
the
sword.
upgraded shield for you.
Yeah, the shield of strength. If I can, since I assume I can equip it by default, since it's a piece of equipment. As well as the falcon sword.
you can-
The falcon sword would.
Okay,
kinda nice.
don't toss that. Actually,
You can drop the herb.
I'll drop
antidote
the
herb.
antidote herb.
Yeah.
Swapping out one leaf for another.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Did you get
so
the thing,
now
or did you
from
just
here-
drop the thing?
go east around the island
Sorry.
and just go east until you hit land.
Okay,
Did you actually pick up the leaf, or did you just drop the herb?
I picked it up.
Okay, sorry.
Yep.
It's good to check.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
We don't
but
want
I
to be
wanted.
halfway through the ocean.
The enemies did not see thee. All right, this is not worthy of an actual spending time battling. You know, I should do. Illith repel. But what I wanted to say, I wanted to ask Nathaniel, since this was a topic that actually came up like multiple podcasts in a row. And I feel like something like almost 10 years later now.
Keep
going?
going much
Yeah.
further until you hit actual real land,
Oh,
not
okay,
this
got
tiny
it. Right, 'cause
little
we're heading
block
back
that someone's
to-
filled in the ocean.
Right, because we're heading back to Baran for the path to.
Yeah.
Better to ask Nathaniel.
Yep, that's it.
Is that
Keep
real
going north.
land? Nope, that's not real land.
Yep, this is it.
That is land.
I don't.
Well,
No matter.
it's like 2.
Oh, yeah, I guess we do
MP.
still have a little bit to go. Yeah.
Oh,
We can always stop at the inn here before we go anywhere else.
Ah, we're back. So you were asking about a thing that came up on multiple podcasts.
Oh yeah, multiple podcasts in a row. That is Nathaniel. Have you been using the Backloggery lately?
Uh,
Using it.
yes,
He lives
but
in it,
not
right?
enthusiastically.
I was gonna say, I think we talked about that a little bit in the first. I was
Did
gonna
we?
say
It's
Dungeons and
entirely
Dragons-
possible. Like,
Dragon Quest.
you know, I remember things
I-
very well.
I think it was briefly mentioned.
Okay.
Now, do we need to throw on the step stool, whatever spell?
Yeah, the step stool spell.
That's the one.
I like that. I like the mental image of that is that we have just a bunch of step stools we're putting down so we don't have to touch the floor. The floor is lava.
Or just
and
one step stool. We're getting on our knees, holding it with our hands, and just hopping across.
Yeah.
That is the superior image.
So, and we have to reuse the eye. That's why it didn't allow us to get rid of it. That makes sense.
Yep, I discovered that when I was thinking about grinding in here, but I discovered that for multiple reasons, this is not a very good place to grind. Although it does have the metal babbles, which are a decent source of experience, but they're kind of a pain to fight. And a lot of the other enemies in here are pretty beefy. Not to mention, there's just pitfalls in the floor. And if you fall down to this lower area, it has a ridiculously high encounter rate, and it's always horks, which are just really beefy enemies in terms of hit points. So it's just like, you're just punished by having to fight tons and tons of battles against enemies that are not enjoyable to fight at all.
Don't go that way. Don't go that way. Go straight north. There's a pitfall on the right side that we fell in before, so let's not do that. So go northeast from here. That upward staircase to the right.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. I also did discover some, and then to the right 3 times this way.
Yep.
Okay, I do. Whoa! All right. Take out the dark eye.
What else did you discover?
Thunder. I discovered. I'll leave a little bit of suspense for the viewers at home. I discovered an enemy from the previous game. Let's put it that way. Which, if
you're asking about the bet. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say, if we run into that enemy, you will understand very quickly what that is. I suspect, Nathaniel, you might have caught on to what I mean. Yeah, I was not pleased to rediscover this enemy. So anyway, but yes, the Backloggery. I just, out of curiosity, you just talked about it a lot.
So the Backloggery, a website where you can track video games that you own, what you've played, beaten, completed, mastered, different, how many achievements you've gotten, reviews, opinions on them. There's a social component to it too. And the old website, which I'd been using since the same time I joined GameCola, so that would have been like circa 2009 or thereabouts. I love the site. Very simple, very plain design, but you had a lot of customizability on your profile page. Everything was organized very well. I liked everything about it. It was a great place to be, very easy to be social. And a couple aspects of it were, a little bit clunky by modern standards of design. But overall, just really easy and intuitive and comfortable to use. Within the last year, they did a major update that completely revamped the look and feel of it, the positioning of a lot of elements, and everything just feels wrong now to me. And I still have, years and years and years of keeping track of every video game, and it's great to refer back to. I think I may have mentioned in some previous iteration, this game or the last game, about storing my memory in other places so I don't need to retain all this information all the time. So it's nice to have, like, what did you think of insert name of game here? Well, let me look on my Backloggery, I'll tell you. So I don't need to remember how I felt about this thing all the time. But also it's good to be able to compare things and know what games I have that maybe have fallen through the cracks that I'm like, oh yeah, I should go play that. I forgot I even had that one. It's been in a box forever. So now it's sort of like an obligation to just keep up that momentum of, well, I guess I'll track this, but sometimes it's like a couple days after I play the game before I get around to doing it, just because everything about it just feels so different and doesn't really click with me at all. And so I'm very sad.
Interesting, because I, believe
Keep
it or not,
going down.
I'm in, I don't know if he himself is one of the the people that runs the site, but I'm in a Discord server for a group called My Life in Gaming. One of the people there, Mark, aka Triforce, is like one of his close friends is Drumble, who I believe is the site owner.
Yes.
So anyway, that's just interesting. And honestly, though, if you did have any, I was gonna say I could always, well, I don't know if it's. I think it might be a supporter, like a Patreon Discord, but it's like $1.
Well, like, I know they have a Patreon. We should keep going south. I know they have a Patreon. And I
This
recently joined Patreon. Yeah, that's the one. Recently joined Patreon. So, but I don't have the energy to ask for, hey, can we do this and make suggestions and stuff. From here, we are going to go as up as you can go. If there's an option to go up, keep going up. Although, take a detour in this first right nook here for some gold. Up.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going up, but let's make a detour to the right here and pick up a treasure chest and then keep going up.
All right, orking.
But there's just been so many things in my life that have been, hey, we made this change, now you need to live with this change. And it's far too late to really give feedback about anything that's going on. So I don't have the energy to keep up with that anymore.
Yeah, I guess that's fair enough. And we were, discussing, or I guess kind of commiserating, before the podcast, our podcast,
over
blah,
the new
blah,
Discord
blah.
UI.
Yes,
It's
about
a podcast.
that came out.
Some random person
yesterday.
playing video games in the background while we're talking about other stuff.
Yep. So, all right, let's see. Some gold. Great, 1 battle's worth of gold. I mean, it's something. It's free.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I don't want to be a downer about it because I know that I'm so often a downer about things because I fixate on the negative. But
it's so easy to do. I feel like it's natural almost. It's kind of instinct to do that at some point. We're kind of I wouldn't maybe saying it's instinct is incorrect, but I feel like we've become conditioned by many factors and many external forces.
Oh, Illy needs health.
Yeah, she sure does.
And Orf might be better off fighting in case he somehow gets a crit.
Yep. Shield of Strength.
Oh, nice.
Woohoo!
Wow. Nice.
GameCola's doing triple-digit damage now. Very nice.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
But I'm actually really easy to please. Just don't do any of the stuff that annoys me, and I'll generally be fine.
Were we going to the right?
No, we did.
Oh,
we did the right already.
We
just
did.
With the treasure chest. Now we can keep going.
And then
up.
Yep.
my
Now we
memory
go right.
obviously just selectively blanked things out.
Yep.
Cool.
It's okay. It's all up now.
Right. No, we got that 1 battle's worth of gold, and then I was like, yes, and now we're here again, so we go right again, right?
Don't like that. Trying to put me to sleep.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind sleeping.
I just got a good night's sleep for the first time in like 3 or 4 days, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks where I have been fighting to get more than 1 or 2 good nights of sleep every once in a while. It's been for various reasons. And I feel like another one of the reasons why I focus on the negative so often when I'm on these podcasts I said it again, podcast. Is there's these 3 factors for me to like do a good go down a good solid quality recording that I am comfortable with. Number 1, be decently rested, which is rarely the case. Oh boy, we fell into the hole. So it's a good thing that you saved your state.
Yep.
Very smart.
Magic Vampiri. I don't think this was an enemy I encountered when I was trying to grind in this area, because it was up in this room where I found some of the things that I'm not looking forward to finding. Anyway, what were you were saying?
But yeah, the three factors that always come into play every time we're doing this recording session for this game and the previous game. Am I well rested enough? have I had a bit of a buffer between getting done with work and being able to record, or did I go straight from work into this? Because I need a little bit of time to disengage from that and reset. And have I eaten dinner? And I have been averaging 1, maybe 2 of the 3 every recording session, and I feel like it's really starting to show.
Infernos, Berserker. Yes, Shield of Strength. So these Berserkers, again, I think I need to really focus because, again, there's the whoa type of enemies that focus on one singular party member.
Orph needs health.
Yes, because they're exclusively attacking Orfeo. So I'm going to go ahead and heal more on Orfeo and
just
have
to be extra sure, yeah.
Ah,
Well,
dang it.
We tried.
I tried.
You know, you can still reload that save state. I feel like that would be preferable to anything else.
What amazing thing is going to go wrong this time?
Yeah.
This isn't so bad.
Yeah. It is also shocking how little physical damage Illith can still deal. The wimpy magic wand is still doing more damage than her melee attacks in every instance. Although Orfeo now can actually do more damage with his melee attacks than he does with the Staff of Thunder. But obviously the Staff of Thunder, yep, there we go. That's what I was afraid of running into. Hello, Green Dragon.
Yeah.
Which one of those is the Green Dragon?
You could take one of those on when you were just a single dude with barely any magic.
Yeah, not anymore. They are endgame-ish enemies, it seems like.
I mean, we basically are. We are like right on the cusp of the end game. I guess we are, right,
but we don't feel like it. The strength of my party does not feel like we are on the cusp of end game. And I mean, the cusp of ending the game permanently because everyone died, sure. Yeah, well, definitely. We're going right. Okay, where do I go now? Right. Okay, but first, I may end up going down because save state. All right, right. I was gonna say that there was almost sort of a momentary sort of panic crisis about grinding. Since I was initially worried, I think we may have stated it on a previous episode, possibly not, but at least in sort of private discussions about the game. I was under the impression that you needed to be at the level cap to really beat the game or to stand a chance. It turns out that is not actually the case. That is not at all remotely necessary. So what happened here was, in my personal experience playing this game, with the particular characters I had, because we've conjectured that people's stats are a little bit different based on the name, so my playthrough would have had different stats, different characters, because my characters were named differently than these ones. That I had just very poor luck with the stats that I got. And whatever strategy I was using, whatever RNG I was getting, I needed to be absolutely max level, and that was still not enough to get me from the last save point to the final boss. So I ended up needing to run away from every possible encounter that I could, and still just barely made it. So you have the benefit of save states, and there's also, there's proof, we've seen it, that you can beat the final boss on level 30-something, and not 50-something, which is max level. So if you save state well, and run a lot, you might fare better than I did. But yes, I scared you from the beginning. Yes, and so I was just thinking, well, I'm at level 25. I'm only halfway to the level cap. And given that it's taken me about an hour and a half to 2 hours for a single full party round of level up, one level, that it was estimated to take something like another 20 plus hours of just off-screen camera or off-camera grinding in order to be ready for the end game. And I was just thinking, that sounds horrible. But as it turns out, no, we're actually really hopefully shouldn't have too much off-camera grinding left to do. Ooh, nice. Oh, and a new spell. What
Ooh.
could it be? Come on, singing telegram. Explode it.
Explode it.
What?
You explode and go into debt.
Ah,
Something would explode your debt.
yeah. I would
I thought it
prefer
was-
that. Yeah, the debt explodes. It's gone.
I thought it was just a little explosion and explodette.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's just cut off. Explode.
Or maybe it's sort of like an adventure. We're going on an explodition.
All right. Let's go ahead and get everybody topped off here. Left or right?
Mark, which way?
Left.
Wrong. No, I'm sorry. I lied. Something horrible happened.
Oh, so was
Okay,
I
go
wrong
right.
after all?
Yeah, maybe you could have been correct.
This is we need to start
This-
playing the Lost Woods from Zelda.
Here we are. Right. Stop.
Oh,
Okay, that's what happened. I looked away to look at the map, and I think you kept moving in a direction, and we did something like this. So, from the staircase, we're going to go sort of in a zigzag pattern:
Here, hang
right,
on.
up, left, up, right.
Actually, you know what? I don't want to reload because then we'll lose Illith's level up.
Yeah, yeah. Let's not do that.
All right, Firebane.
We'll get it, we'll get it.
Actually, hang on. Defeat Berserker
Yeah.
and Explodette. Okay, so the Berserkers are attacking GameCola. All right, no effect.
Well,
If this is effectively the whack spell. Whoa! Nice!
Oh,
That is a pretty good damaging spell. I like that. I
Yeah.
did not check, however, to
And-
see how much MP it used.
I was gonna ask. Yeah.
I'm gonna have GameCola parry just because he's gonna get whacked by two, like, 30-something damage attacks this turn from the Berserkers.
Wait, did we try using defeat?
We did, and
it
it
didn't affect either of them. I think
the
that's effectively the
Berserkers.
whack
Yeah.
spell, and so I suspect that
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
probably a low chance, even against enemies that don't resist it, that it will work.
Yeah.
it'd be called like 3% defeat or something.
Yeah. Defeat maybe.
We had 1% defeat, 2% defeat. Now I want whole defeat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We need a leggy ant. They have all of defeat. All right,
Yeah.
Okay, so go left this time.
left.
Here we go. Now go right. This is a
What?
maze that loops. Now go right.
I did.
Okay, then this map is
That's
making
weird.
stuff up.
The game start
Eddie, do you
messing
want
with
to
your
help me
sense of
out and look at a
object
different
permanence.
map?
I'm gonna go right
I
and then left. Okay, that doesn't work.
I believe that the map that I'm looking at doesn't show it in the way that it's working, and instead shows it as like
Okay.
a single layout.
Well, if one green dragon was bad, how are two green dragons?
They cancel each other out. They're not so bad.
It's a double
fight each other.
negative.
There's no escape.
Ow.
It's not
Yeah,
so
that-
bad.
that game knows
there
what it's
goes
setting you up for.
Orfeo.
It's fine. It's fine.
Every time I see that Delaware, I think Deutschland.
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay, let's do it
exploring
this
the
way.
world here.
Let's do it this way. Go. No, wait a second.
I've exhausted all
Yeah.
possible options if I go right from the
So-
staircase room.
Oh, here, sorry. Oh. The way that it looks is that you go right, then. Or, yeah, sorry, try going right and just let me look at it. Okay, so now go up and left. And now go up and right.
That's where that's what I got messed up on. It's going back and forth
Yeah, okay,
between
there we
my
go.
map tab and my not map tab.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you
Now-
for rescuing this jetty.
Go, I guess, lower right. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, all the way. And then you're gonna go up and right. Yeah.
Is it like Tetris
Okay.
where every room has a distinct shape to it?
Kind of.
Oh, but the enemies did not see thee. Run.
Do we want to beat
like-
them up while they did not see us?
Nope.
Eh.
Those
yeah,
those
up.
green dragons do not mess around.
Left path.
Okay, this fight I will Infernos.
And that was a genuine question for me because I feel like it would be particularly evil if the game made you go through a path that had like 3 rooms that were identical to each other.
That would be brutal.
So the first two, the like you go right from the stairs, it's identical to the next room except that you're starting in a different spot, I think. And I guess it's slightly different. They're both T-shaped. Yeah, go up,
Well, okay, yeah, that was the one that Nathaniel got turned around over.
then go up.
So, Mark, you can go back and tell me wrong.
Yeah, Mark was actually
go
correct when he
right.
said left. All right, now which way?
Yeah, it's like, right. Sorry. Yeah.
Wrong!
And then keep going right. Like there's only
Whoa,
one
an
other
attack
exit
bot.
here.
All right. I shall attack the attack bot.
Bot the-
Let's
the
increase
bot
our
attack.
defense. And explode it. Oh,
Magic,
no
the
effect.
magic appearance.
So much disappointment.
Let's explode at one of those sometimes work spells too.
That doesn't feel like a very big increase.
No,
Although
it really does.
I've been playing Dragon Quest 6DS and I'm used to like triple, quadruple those numbers when I use that same equivalent spell. And I'm pleased to say I'm nearly done with the game now. I strapped down and followed a walkthrough very, very heavily. Got through the excessively open-ended, just go explore the world and collect random stuff part of it. And then got back onto a linear path and beelining for the final, what appears to be the final dungeon now.
Ow. Okay, so it's 8 MP for
8.
explode it.
Yeah.
And it did not consistently damage these ones.
Yeah, so shield of strength and shield of strength, because Illy. Okay, whew.
Hey.
The unfortunate thing is that we can't use the shield of strength as an item outside of battle. It doesn't work as
Yeah.
healing.
Yeah.
The shield needs to be afraid to work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's only you're like almost there.
Whoa!
Hey.
Hmm.
That's not a party I want to be invited to. Oh, but I can't leave. You can check out anytime you like, but you may
And it'll
never
be pretty
leave.
soon at this rate.
Yep,
Orf just checked out.
yep.
I was thinking about, we're using these save states. When are we ever going to increase our death counter now?
Oh, I'm increasing it
And,
every time, even if we save state to undo it.
Yeah. Well, I just mean that, like, and yet here we are.
I would, at one point, like to fight one of these.
Whoa!
Hey!
So now,
It's
So,
I like that
snowy.
little hill.
This is one thing that I do genuinely love about this game. I love the aesthetics of this area.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
It's a snowy plains.
And, like, this is, like, there's no indication that this is a, like, biome in the rest of the world, right? That, like, this is unique
Yeah, and if you look at the map, and James, I would love to show you the map before the end of this recording, like when we're at the final boss, just so you can sort of absorb what the world actually looks like and get your reaction to it.
Sure.
But this is situated in the middle of a huge, massive land that we've been sailing around this entire time.
Oh, interesting.
That's cool map design.
Surround, maybe. Nice! Good
Nice.
crit.
Tremendous blow.
Tremendous blow. I have to say, of the two phrasings, I still prefer excellent move. Whoa! Hey, here's another
remember those
design that I
guys.
recognize. Not from the first game, but of later games. Wow! I may be in danger, but let's find out just how much danger.
Hey,
Yeah, like,
it's not like these are green
now.
dragons.
Now we're into the monster designs that I like.
All
Yeah.
right, Infernos. Ouch. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Okay, so they've got
Also, we
about
were talking
100
about
HP.
how these. We were talking in much earlier episodes how these enemies were built and put on the screen, and it's interesting. Maybe it's just the way that the recording is coming across the screen share, but the way they flash is a little different from
Yeah,
others because it
it's-
looks like they're
it's-
split into multiple parts.
Yeah, they're
yeah.
like split into two halves,
Huh.
left and right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely seeing that on the original video as it's coming through. I think you're spot on.
I think it might just be that there's not enough like CPU time to update everything.
That could also be it. So, little healy.
Yep. A lot of healy from Illy.
Heelys?
Yeah.
Oh, I just realized Illy has
We're
almost
gonna
no
get yelled
MP
at like
left.
teachers now?
Is there a town or no?
Maybe. Who knows?
All right, well.
I'll
just in
leave it
case.
to your. I'll leave it to your navigational sensibilities.
Oh, go the
There's a
long way.
thing.
Dang it. Oh.
Oh.
Ooh. This travel door takes
What?
one back to the underworld. If that is thy wish, please enter.
The underworld?
I mean, you can save and see where it goes. So you just got a full heal and MP restoration.
Ooh. And I can
Oh.
save. Okay.
Ah, yeah, I was gonna say, I remember there being like some way to stay out here. I don't remember having to go through the dungeon every time to get here, but I couldn't
Yeah.
remember what
So-
was here.
So until and unless we need to do any shopping, this
Oh,
is our
where
home
this
base
goes.
for the rest of the game.
Oh,
We
interesting.
know.
Ow. Ow. All right. Well, interesting. Very, very cool. Let's do some more exploring.
Yeah, I remember being here and grinding for like a bit. I'm just gonna say.
So, and that's part of why I don't want to navigate you here. Just explore naturally, as nature intended, and you'll level up as nature intended.
Whoa.
And be attacked by blizzards as nature intended.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's trying to cast defeat. Oh, you're gonna do that? Oh dear.
Oh, you know what? We will also want to make room in the inventory to give everybody a dragon scale before the end of this.
Okay, good to know.
It's funny, for some reason.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Nature's winning.
The question is, does talking to that person revive dead party members?
This is an important question for us to answer.
Yeah. Oh wow, that was a lot of EXP.
This whole area looks very interesting with the red coloration.
It does.
Hey.
Good.
Oh, Orph is about to level up.
You know what? I am very glad that that is the case. And yeah, Orfeo is indeed about to
Yeah.
level up. Okay. But also, how incredibly rude of the enemies.
So here's a question for the group.
Whoa!
I'll withhold that question until this is over.
I like his tail.
What on earth? Okay, now we're getting into like the actual like Akira Toriyama clearly went and designed some cool monsters.
And
All
again,
right.
I love, like, aesthetically, I love everything about this area. These are the
Wow.
monsters I want to see in my Dragon Quest. Dragon Warrior. Dragon Quarrior.
The dragon. Yeah, something like that. Oh my goodness. Ooh, wow. He can attack twice. And he is very strong. Yeah, you can see how like that segmented the different yeah, that's interesting. It's probably also to get around palette limitations because because the background color is black. I need to focus on figuring out how to not instantly die here.
Well, it's funny. You don't want sprite flicker in your platformers, but you want it in your RPGs.
Yeah, but they
Like that.
Whew, okay. No, shield of strength again because massive pain.
You know, there's a point where you might as well use
It's worth trying to
Explodet.
sleep or defense.
Or yeah.
See what works. Sorry, Jake.
I'm just thinking that instead of Infernos to just use Explodet because if we're this close to a place where we can heal for free,
That's a good point. We can kind of go ham with our magic.
Okay, so, question for the group.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to RPGs in particular, but, you know, any video games if you feel like branching out in genres, what do you look for in an end game challenge? Because we are officially in the end game now.
That's such an interesting question. That's a really tough question to answer because it's not something that I think I've ever consciously... Oh, level up. It's not something that I've ever consciously thought about. I think.
Good.
Okay, just decent level up there. That was nice. I should probably just keep in mind how far back I need to travel in case we get beat up. Save. Yeah, I'll think about that and get back to you, honestly. I'll let the others discuss because I don't have an answer for that.
For my part,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, okay. I really like the notion poetically of something that brings together a lot of design elements and game mechanics that you've already faced. And that can take a lot of different forms, right? It can be things that the game has introduced to you as challenges or as items,
Oh, these are
or
different.
as skills and resources that you have, or as people, or as narrative, and just making things that you've experienced feel meaningful and feel like they come back and tie into something that you have to figure out or persevere through using previous knowledge. Because this Dragon Warrior is an adventure, right? And the one of the essences of adventuring is you use what you have at your disposal in your brain to overcome new challenges and new situations. And so a final boss is the perfect place to design something that brings that together. But more broadly speaking, a game is an adventure, like any genre. And so being mindful to do that, I think takes a lot of work, a lot of thought, and is, if done right, should be very difficult to pull off from a design standpoint. But when done right, is extremely satisfying as a player.
How about you, Jenny?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of games these days I've found have like a very easy final boss for some reason. I guess it's supposed to be like, here you are, you've made it through the whole game. We're just gonna kind of give it to you. But I feel like at the end of the game, I want the most challenge, right? Like, we've been through all this stuff, we have all this experience, like this should be the moment where I have to pull everything out, where like I have to use, my elixir that I've been saving, since the beginning of the game, basically.
Yeah.
What was the point of all this if you're just going to kind of hand it to me? Like, I realize that, there's kind of a trade-off, right? Like, at the end of the game, you're supposed to feel powerful. And I feel like maybe that's part of what I liked about this portion of the game when I played it originally.
Whoa!
I feel what Pat
Green gold doubloons?
What? What even? I also do find it amusing. I know that the NES lacks good color options for yellow, but I know that we have a color that is closer to gold than skin color.
Whatever.
It's white gold, and again, whose skin?
Yeah.
White gold peach's skin.
Yeah.
The skin of a peach.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's like peach color. But we have colors that are closer to gold than this.
Yeah.
Colorblind dude sitting over here saying, "This looks off-white to me. It's white gold."
This is effectively like somewhere between peach and beige. Which I mean, I realize that doesn't necessarily mean anything further to someone who's colorblind, but this is not gold. This is not anything close to gold.
So sorry, I have a file where I'm like messing with colors, or with like sprites and stuff, and like the color options that you have though are like a brown green or like a red orange. Like, sorry, when I say red orange, it is like it's pretty red. It's like purpley almost. And the thing is that it is in the sort of color range that would be the same, I guess, like brightness as like that green that's the rest of them. So like it would be pretty dark. So I think the problem is that like it would really darken things down. And so the next thing that you have is this like very light peach color. So yeah, they are kind of stuck with limitations of the palette.
I guess that's true.
I think they could have done better than going with the, you said brown green. I saw brown and green on those sprites, like for the ears and the wings.
Yeah.
And that's really messing with my color perception.
Like the color of the sand on the overworld is closer to gold.
Also
And now watch as, somebody does a comparison and it turns out that that's actually the same color palette and it's the context of being on sand that makes it look more... I don't know.
Okay, so something stands out to me here. The perspective on these two enemies and also the level of detail is really, really jarring to have these both side by side. And it kind of makes me wonder if the attack bot was originally planned for the first Dragon Warrior and was sprited for it and everything, but they didn't use it and then reused it for this, or was one of the earliest enemies that they made for this before they started opting to go a little more detailed on the sprites.
Yeah.
That's a good question, honestly. That is actually a really interesting
it does look like that. Sorry, so I was talking about Yeah.
Use
Something about
the
this.
elixir
Right?
from the
I
start of the
guarantee it's not going to work on the attack bot.
So the thing is that you can make your characters feel more powerful while still keeping a challenge by just making the numbers really big.
And I think something that, just thinking about some of the games that I'm sure you've played or that I know you've played, if you go for 100% completion, if you do every side quest, if you find every rare item,
Yeah.
you are in many cases going to be way overpowered to the point where it is too easy to fight the
Yeah.
final boss.
Yeah.
But there is always incentive to go for 100%. So it's sort of that but you also at the same time don't want to force players to do 100% in order to have any shot at beating the final boss. It's a really tough balancing act.
Yeah. No, and I agree about like some kind of stuff that ties things together, like bringing back bringing back old bosses as just like characters that you fight throughout the the final dungeon or whatever, that kind of stuff, or otherwise having a powered up version that's like, oh yeah, we haven't seen this guy in a while, but I had to use this spell on them or whatever. Something that kind of brings back things that you've done before and kind of incorporates the rest of the game into one final dungeon.
Yeah, I do like me a good boss rush.
Yeah.
But now there does run the risk of
Hey,
a castle, sort of
we-
trivializing.
What?
Oh, we need. They were saying.
Oh, the mirror.
Everything looks normal.
I mean, we can go ahead and say hi.
Hi, dog. So I was saying there runs a risk of trivializing the bosses that you had before.
Hey.
On the one hand, it's like,
I don't think it
What?
will reach the town of Leftwin.
on the one hand, it's like, oh, that's awesome. I've progressed so much that I can beat them now with no sweat.
Right.
But
But it
on
was-
the other, it's like, I'm thinking, was that
Oh no, but it was empty. The treasure chest that we had at the beginning of the game had
empty.
returned. But yes, continue, please.
I'm thinking of the when I played Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, I had such a hard time fighting the Dark Nut boss, mini-boss.
Time out. Check your HP and MP. Did we actually get restored?
We did
Because
not.
I
doesn't
didn't
look like
see
it.
it.
Giants.
We
the gold
did.
value
It's
did not
funny.
go down. The gold value did not go down.
Nice.
Interesting.
That's
That
fascinating.
is-
It's all fake. You
That's
don't even
funny.
actually.
Yeah. That is evil and awesome. That is a really
It's a
cool
good one.
part of
I
the
forgot
game.
about that.
That's
yeah.
great.
Like, oh yes, lull you into a false sense of security. Full illusion mode.
Yes,
Um,
continue.
Yeah, and I think when I first beat it, it was like, oh, I feel so powerful. I feel great. I learned his pattern. I bested this really heavily armored knight in a battle of swords. And then in I think the one of the endgame towers or dungeons, whatever, where it might be an optional challenge where you're just given a lot of really hard fights to go through and puzzles to solve. And then it
Let me interrupt
sent-
for a second. Something interesting is not going to happen. Why don't we head back, heal up, save, and save this for the next episode?
I think that's a good idea. Let's see if we
Ooh.
get immediately
Yes.
assaulted. Now, out of curiosity, return.
Return.
Yes.
Well, that means I'm on a
Aha.
timer.
Yay!
Very nice.
We can heal again. Yeah, and so to finish up my thoughts, it sent 2 or 3. Some of those floors sent 2 or 3 of these mini bosses out at me, and there was no more fanfare. There was no more cutscenes of I got them down to half health. They were changing forms and throwing their swords at me at the same time when I got them both to the same place. And at that point, it felt really, they were so much less special when I fought them the second and third time because of that. I think I want to see a good amount of celebration or hyping
Yeah.
up fights. Well,
Well,
with that,
we can pick up this discussion next episode.
In the next
Indeed.
episode, yes, we will celebrate.
yeah, James, have a good think about it.
Yep. I'll have to, because I still haven't